This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Just as people in southern Manitoba started making headway on cleaning up from the blizzard, a second hit comes. People are once again digging out. But it's not just that snow to contend with, it's the whipping winds. CBC's Gavin Axelrod has been outside braving those conditions all day long. And Gavin, it was a slow go around the city for many people.
Yes, Brittany, as we've seen, it's been another blast of winter weather here in Manitoba. Now, that led to school closures at dozens of schools across southern Manitoba, so another snow day for a lot of students out there. Here in Winnipeg, it's not as bad as it was earlier, but that wind that you talked about, it's been the worst part, and it's probably the nastiest part of being outside right now. It really bites you. It's a vicious wind. And we've been following this storm all day, so that started earlier this morning where people were outside cleaning up from Thursday's dump of snow to when that nasty weather rolled in later this afternoon. Darcy Berry was hard at work Friday morning, working to clean up her friend's driveway in the Wolseley neighborhood. Berry hasn't been fazed by the first big storm of the season.
I'm just kind of getting it to a point where it's manageable. Like, I think if you don't get it under control now, like, the rest of the winter is going to be tricky.
What are the rest of the people on the street here? How are they feeling about the...
Well, I think, the kids like it, right? Most people here don't mind it. You see a lot of people biking still and walking their dogs.
Crews were also working hard to clean up the streets. But conditions in the city got worse as the day went on, and another Alberta clipper rolled in. Strong winds and blowing snow led to poor visibility on the roads. Those conditions also weren't fun for people waiting outside for buses in the city.
It's cold, very cold.
On Thursday, some riders may have had delays or trouble catching a bus. The city says more than 200 buses were stuck throughout the day because of weather. As of Friday morning, the city said 11 more buses got stuck.
It makes it harder to get places. I think it impacts everybody. Just another day in Winnipeg.
Other riders told us they're getting strategic in the winter weather.
You had to time the bus perfectly, just not to have that long wait.
As the snow continued to fall Friday, Janira Orozco was doing anything she could to keep her sidewalk clear.
Soon the snow cover again, and I trying to clean very good the corners because it's hard to see when I enter.
Orozco doesn't want to see anyone get hurt on snow-covered sidewalks.
It's important because all people, and even myself, can walk easily and more property, not slippery.
Now, the city of Winnipeg says they continue to plow main routes, and that also includes some sidewalks and back lanes. There are also back lanes that are getting plowed to help with that garbage pickup. Now, just one reminder for everybody out there, there is going to be a residential parking ban starting Sunday morning, and it's going to end Tuesday evening. Brittany.
All right, thank you, Gavin. Get inside, get warm. Thanks so much. That's CBC's Gavin Axelrod. All right, time now to bring in Riley Lachak. And Riley, these have been a busy few days for you, but as we were just saying, really that wind, one of the biggest things to contend with.
Yeah, not so much the snow in some parts of the province, Brittany, but it's the wind. We've seen gusts in Melita, for example, earlier in the day today, up to 70 kilometers an hour. A lot of 60s on the map through the afternoon into south central parts of the province and into the city of Winnipeg. And yes, another Alberta clipper, and these ones are very quick movers. So, I mean, starting early in the morning into parts of western Manitoba, and actually arriving slightly ahead of forecast into the Red River Valley this afternoon. And we're on the tail end of that snow as it pushes eastward into northwestern Ontario. So any highway travel through the overnight hours into the morning will be quite tricky, I think, especially if you're heading into northwestern Ontario through the overnight hours tonight. So we still have a blowing snow advisory in place for a good chunk of southern Manitoba. Take caution because we'll likely see visibility issues remaining through the overnight hours tonight. And yes, and behind this, Brittany, another round of some very cold air. We'll talk about that when I come back.
All right, thank you, Riley.
Welcome.
Meantime, at the airport, it was the second day of chaos and a roller coaster of emotions for travelers that were hoping to get around for their holiday plans. Many headed to the airport yet again today, hoping to take off. But as CBC's Felicia Adam reports, they were greeted with another round of cancelled and delayed flights.
Fazia Atsenti and Kartik Sachar have been here before.
Yeah, we're going to book the Uber right now, or call my dad and pick us up.
And for the second day in a row, they're leaving the airport disappointed. Their flight to Cuba canceled.
We told everyone that we were going on a fun, sunny vacation. Yeah. And for 2 days we've been saying, all right, we got canceled. Okay, we're going tomorrow. Then we got canceled again. And now I'm saying we're going tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to happen.
They're just two of more than a dozen people who'd been looking forward to that trip.
An emotional roller coaster.
Laura and Jared Dennis have been planning and saving up for years. Their flight was canceled 30 minutes before departure.
So we're going to be driving home and they're going to be updating us. So
Our 7-day vacation is no longer a 7-day vacation. It's not happening.
Flights within Canada heading to Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, and Vancouver were delayed this morning, leaving some in limbo.
We don't know when it's going to be rescheduled, so it could be 2 days, 3 days.
But a lucky few were able to take off, with their holiday spirits high.
I'm going to see my brother, my sisters, my dad, my stepmom. Yeah, going to see the whole crew.
Kids are in Alberta, so we head there for Christmas. We'll only get to see them a few times a year, so it's a good time to go.
Over in arrivals, the hug rug was filled with cheerful reunions. Val Medved is happy to be back home.
I'm looking forward to just cooking, hosting, having family around the table, having everyone around the table, actually. That's the most important part.
This group waited with flowers, excited to see their friend after months.
We haven't seen her since, but we're really excited for her to come home. We've been waiting for a long time. She's super excited. She actually doesn't know we're here right now.
Yeah,
so we're
surprising her.
And in the end...
Oh my gosh!
The surprise was worth it, just in time for the holidays. Felicia Adam, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A little extra holiday cheer. Well, Manitobans buying booze is paying off big for some holiday charities. Earlier this month, people lined up outside liquor stores after the province announced U.S. alcohol would start to be put back on shelves once again. It had been pulled earlier this year after President Donald Trump imposed widespread tariffs. The Premier said any proceeds raised through these sales would go to charity. Well, that total is now $2.6 million going to groups in need. The money is going to several holiday initiatives, including the Christmas Cheer Board, Harvest Manitoba, and the Boys and Girls Club of Thompson. Well, Manitoba might be a ways away from the Taj Mahal, but a group in northern Manitoba are hoping they might have the next closest thing with a prairie twist, of course. Some people in Flin Flon have started a new project they hope will bring tourists north this winter, an event centre built entirely from ice and snow. CBC's Eric Westhaver shows you what's inspired them to build a snow lodge.
Hi. It's bold, it's cold, and Flin Floners hope it's tourism gold. Construction has started on what leaders are calling a snow lodge, a hall and event space made almost solely out of snow and ice. Builders and volunteers started on the project in early December. They hope to have it open by the end of January.
And so we're really, really excited to be able to have this in northern Manitoba, and specifically Flin Flon.
For inspiration, project planners are using an ice hotel, built every winter in northern Sweden. The hotel includes sculptures, art, and even beds made from ice. Winnipeg architect Peter Hargraves worked on that hotel, and northern Sweden reminded him of northern Manitoba. He thinks the new project could be a boom for the region.
And winter is a commodity that we have. It gets cold here, and when it gets cold, you can do things like this that you can't do in other places in the world.
To build the lodge, ice is cut from a pond with a chainsaw. Bricks of ice are then lifted out, slid down the pond, and moved with a loader. The bricks and snow are stacked up with the help of wooden platforms and metal forms to keep everything in the right place during the build.
There's nothing too hard about it except let nature do its job, and now it's been cold enough to form lots of ice. So the ice blocks are going to be over 12 inches thick, which is a perfect size for what they want to do.
When the ice chips settle, the goal is to not just hold concerts, dinners, and events, but to have trails nearby for skiers and snowshoers, even a skating rink on the pond where they got the bricks.
I think the Taj Mahal of the North.
If the project works out, leaders hope it could come back and expand, maybe someday becoming Manitoba's very own ice hotel.
The idea is to populate the whole of northern Manitoba with these unbelievable winter engagement projects where tourism can prosper and thrive. And you know, I'm a hard believer that it'll outstrip summer if we do it right.
It's the wrong time of year for Field of Dreams, but organizers are hoping that if they build it, they will come. There's one small problem. It gets really cold in a Flin Flon winter. Even today, it's minus 25. You can probably tell. But I'm told that once this is built, it will be a lot warmer inside. A relatively balmy minus 2 degrees. Eric Westaver, CBC News, Flin Flon.
Artificial intelligence is everywhere, from online to on your phone, but it's also being used in medicine. We'll tell you more about that after the break. Whether it's music, videos, or how we search for information, artificial intelligence is something we're hearing about more and more often. Tonight, the CBC's Ilana Cole looks at where it's showing up in our medical system.
Crisp images, faster scans, two ways the Chief Operating Officer of Provincial Diagnostic Services for Shared Health says artificial intelligence is enhancing some of Manitoba's MRI machines.
The patient will not notice any difference. They will go in. What they will see, though, is instead of having a 20-minute scan, it's now going to be a 10-minute scan.
Dr. Abdul Razak Socorro says new MRIs have AI. A number of older machines have been or will be retrofitted to use it, with more than half of the province's MRI units expected to have the technology by next spring. Socorro says they're still finalizing initial data, but see benefits.
I am confident, without doubt, that if we continue to leverage this technology across the province, we will make a significant dent in our wait times for MRI.
Socorro says adjusting how scans are scheduled, teaching staff how to use the technology, and upgrading protocols are key. He says while it's changing how people work, it's not taking their place. A statement from Manitoba's health minister says sites using the new AI-enhanced technology are seeing significant gains that are already making a difference for patients. Their office provided preliminary data that compares numbers from this past October to October 2022. The minister says Boundary Trails reached an all-time high of 1,051 scans in October 2025. Pan Am has seen a 90% increase over the same period. And at HSC, the first full month of AI implementation in October resulted in a 24% increase in productivity. AI is emerging in other areas too. Weapons detectors at HSC, a pilot involving how physicians are taking notes. Manitoba's health minister says the province is working with experts to understand the opportunities for AI.
How can AI really be a tool that helps improve care and outcomes for Manitobans? And how can it be used alongside the incredible work that's already being done to make the workload easier and more manageable for our providers?
At Cancer Care Manitoba, chemotherapy treatments vary from dosing to how long an appointment takes. Now, the team there is getting ready to launch a new scheduling tool for chemotherapy. It uses AI. Ken Bohr says it will allow staff to spend more time with patients, get people in for appointments faster.
We want our staff to do the best thing that they do, which is being in front of their patients and providing that care in front of the patient, not in front of scheduling, not in front of the computer, not in front of a piece of paper. So AI, the tool, the AI platform that we are implementing really augments that, the staff, the talents that we have from within.
Bohr says it doesn't replace critical thinking or clinical judgment. He says it uses Cancer Care's procedures, policies, and protocols. The goal is to have it in use next year. Alana Cole, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Two missing snowmobilers in northern Manitoba have been found dead. RCMP say Kyle and Taryn Mason had not been seen since early Monday morning when they left St. Teresa Point on a snowmobile. Police say they were found dead outside the community Thursday afternoon. Investigators believe their snowmobile was traveling on the ice when it collided into rocks on a nearby island. The crash caused significant damage to the snowmobile, and both people were thrown from it. The official cause of death is still under investigation. The City of Winnipeg will study whether a managed encampment for unhoused people could work here. Council voted yesterday to direct city staff to look at possible locations, costs, and how a site could operate. A report is expected back sometime in the spring. Mayor Scott Gillingham says he's open to studying the idea, but has concerns about how it would work, especially without help from the province.
We've asked our staff to get the information related to the concept of a managed encampment site. I look forward to hearing back from our staff on that. I think what would be important, though, is we would need the province to be a full partner in that.
Advocates like Marian Willis from St. Boniface Streetlinks have pushed for the idea, but she doubts the city's commitment to creating a managed encampment, saying it's more focused on moving people into housing. Manitobans can expect to pay a little more for their car insurance next year. After a request from Manitoba Public Insurance, the Public Utilities Board ordered a 1.77% increase to basic insurance rates in the province. The hike will add roughly $22 a year to the average driver's insurance. MPI is also expanding its rating system, adding a new plus 20 level to the scale. Customers who move to the new level will receive a 53% discount on their vehicle insurance and 55% discount on their driver insurance. The changes come into effect in April. All right, Riley back in now. And Riley, just looking outside today, it was a slow go out on those roads for good reason. But it looked like many people were trying to take off a little early for the holidays.
Exactly.
And not getting very far.
And the difference being, Brittany, this time around, we noticed it a bit more because that clipper went through during the day as opposed to through the overnight hours. I'm going to start big picture because I want to explain a bit about what's going on with our upper level winds and why we've gotten through this pattern of just clipper after clipper after clipper, and it all has to do with where the jet stream is sitting. So, I mean, right now it's slumped a little bit again south of the border, but for the last week or so, we've had that jet stream kind of riding along or just north of the international border, and as some of these areas of low pressure develop, they're picking up a lot of that Pacific moisture, cross over the Rockies and push eastward. So that's why we've seen this sort of pattern of clipper followed by cold, followed by clipper. If you're counting, we were on number 3 today that pushed through the province. The remnants of that pushing into northwestern Ontario through the overnight hours tonight. I mean, maybe a few more flurries into Winnipeg, for example, even some periods of light snow through the Interlake. But as we get into the morning hours, this does start to taper off. A chance of maybe a few more snowflakes first thing in the morning before we start to get into some clearing. This courtesy of high pressure to the north, and that will also plunge our temperatures once again as we head Saturday into Sunday before we start to see another one developing as we get into Monday. Right now, I've got a good chance of some light snow through the later part of Monday into early Tuesday. So I'll keep you posted on that in your long range. Winds have been going at a pretty good clip today. They will start to back off as we get through the night. But just know that as we get into Saturday, things remaining still pretty breezy. So this is a snapshot in the morning at 7 o'clock, looking at winds sustained at 30, gusting to about 50 through the Red River Valley into south central parts of the province. Pretty broadly across the south, looking at winds gusting to about 40 through the day tomorrow. So it will be a breezy one. That means reduced visibility on highways, very likely once again as we get through the day tomorrow. Then we get a bit of a break once we see that high pressure starting to push through as we get into the day on Sunday once again. So temperatures first thing in the morning around minus 18 through the Red River Valley, some minus 19s into minus 20s through the western part of the province. And where we do have those extreme cold warnings in place for parts of northern Manitoba, we are looking at the potential again along the Hudson Bay coast of seeing some wind chill values close to minus 45 and into northwestern Manitoba closer to the minus 50 mark. So that's frostbite on exposed skin in minutes overnight tonight once again. So as we get into the afternoon, temperature really doesn't go anywhere as that high pressure moves in around minus 17, minus 18, Brittany, into Sunday. And there's that next chance of seeing some snow as we get through the later part of Monday.
All right, keeping an eye on that. Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
All right, well, we have much more ahead right after the break. Stay with us. 3 members of a Winnipeg family are being sued for allegedly financially exploiting a man with an intellectual disability. Gagandeep Pajeta says he worked for free and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The family he accuses argues the allegations, including the man's disability, are false. The CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco breaks the case for us.
Sort of keep the house the same way, but just change a little bit of technology.
Gagandeep Pajeta dreamed of turning this house he owns on Pacific Avenue into a rental.
I'll be living somewhere else, maybe living in a nice condo, some fancy place, but I'm forced to live in my own, what this is now.
In the spring, he says his accounts were almost empty. Renovations paused, and he now fears losing the home he has on a mortgage.
I'm not the bad guy here, but I'm losing everything.
Pajeta filed a lawsuit against the Winnipeg family in October. He's suing Charanjit Uppal, his wife Ravindin, and their son for allegedly using his intellectual disability to financially exploit him. The statement of claims says the Uppal family owes Pajeta more than $500,000 from over the past 4 years. Pajeta talked to CBC in the company of his sister.
I give them money anyways because I loved them. At the bottom is my mama right there.
Pajeta met the Uppal family through his mom, who asked them to look after him in Winnipeg. The lawsuit says Pajeta has an intellectual disability that makes him incapable of understanding financial decisions. But since moving to Winnipeg in 2021, the lawsuit says Charanjit Uppal arranged for him to get 3 Winnipeg properties.
I think I feel more betrayed because, I walked in thinking that I'm going to build myself up.
Charanjit allegedly arranged 2 mortgages for Pajeta with the help of Winnipeg real estate broker Avinash Chander. The lawsuit says Chander breached his code of conduct as a realtor and that he should have known Pajeta didn't have the capacity to consent to mortgages. The real estate broker is also being sued after helping Pajeta sell a family plot of land for $425,000 in Punjab, India last year. The lawsuit says Pajeta received less than half of the money, alleging that Charanjit, the real estate agent and associates in India, kept the rest.
No, I wouldn't confront that man. He's my best friend to me by sharing wisdom and wise things and made me feel, part of the family.
None of the claims in the lawsuit have been tested in court. The family and the real estate broker deny the allegations. They filed a motion to try and stay the proceedings, saying Pajeta should be represented by a guardian in the lawsuit if he has an intellectual disability, which they don't believe he does.
The man's sister says she was surprised to learn about what her brother says happened.
It just broke my heart when I first found out about it.
Pajeta says he hopes to get his money back, but isn't sure what's next for him. He's still living in Winnipeg, but thinking of moving back to Ontario. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A Toronto man is facing terrorism charges in connection with offenses targeting Jewish women and members of the wider Jewish community, less than a week after a deadly shooting in Australia that killed 15 people.
This extremism, the same extremism that fueled mass murder on the beach in Sydney, is present here in the GTA and in Canada. And it's time for Canadians and Canadian leaders in particular to wake up before it's too late.
Waleed Khan is accused of providing funds and property to ISIS with conspiracy to commit murder. The 26-year-old and 2 other men are accused of attempted kidnappings as well. A Canadian intelligence report recently warned of a risk of extremist attacks against this country's Jewish community. Ontario and New York signed an agreement to work together on developing nuclear power.
This deal will see Ontario share our world-class expertise in large-scale reactors as well as small modular reactors with the great state of New York.
Premier Doug Ford and New York Governor Kathy Hochul say the Memorandum of Understanding will help meet growing energy demands. The 2 regions will share expertise, resources, and innovation, along with training, financing, and developing facilities. The cross-border agreement comes as Canada continues to face trade hostility from the U.S. The U.S. Department of Justice has released a trove of documents related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. Deputy Attorney General told an American media outlet that hundreds of thousands of documents would be made public, but not the entire cache to protect victims' privacy. Chris Reyes has more.
The Department of Justice has released part of the Epstein file, posting it on their website with this disclaimer that all reasonable efforts have been made to review and redact personal information about victims and other private individuals. Today marks the deadline set by Congress to release the Epstein files in its entirety. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has already said that that's not possible given how much they have to redact to protect victims. But he did say that some of it will be released today and more next week.
The most important thing that the Attorney General has talked about, that Director Patel has talked about, is that we protect victims. And so what we're doing is we are looking at every single piece of paper that we are going to produce, making sure that every victim, their name, their identity, their story, to the extent it needs to be protected, is completely protected.
This file potentially has tens of thousands of pages gathered over a period of 2 years as part of the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, which led to his conviction. He was found guilty of sex offenses involving a minor, and more charges followed after that. But these files were never brought out in court because Epstein died in prison before his latest case could go to trial. While we don't know what's in this file, new photos have already been released in recent weeks that show Epstein with some very famous people, including President Trump, former President Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Trump's strategist Steve Bannon, Prince Andrew. We've also seen photos inside his home on his private island, travel documents, a screenshot of a text message talking about paying money for girls. Those photos were part of a batch of 98,000 images that belonged to the Epstein estate obtained by lawmakers. The Democrats that have been most vocal in getting these files released say the photos and images raise a lot of questions about what the DOJ has in their hands.
Congress could try to find the Department of Justice in contempt, the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General. But if they're acting in good faith, if they're trying very hard, sincerely, if you will, to comply with the congressional mandate, then I think a court is going to cut them some slack.
The DOJ was compelled by a bipartisan bill to release the Epstein files by today, a bill signed by President Trump 30 days ago. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
'Tis the season for giving, but Canadians aren't giving as much as they have in the past. Charities are reporting a concerning drop in donations they say is tied to the rising cost of living. Alexander Silberman explains.
The same familiar call for help around the holidays. Seeing fewer Canadians willing and able to open up their wallets.
There have been a few people that have come by that probably wanted to give or wanted to give more and they weren't able to.
The Salvation Army says donations are noticeably down, a $2.5 million drop over this time last year.
That's very concerning for us because it means that we're going to be challenged as we go into the new year to meet the needs, the ever-increasing needs and demands of Canadians who are coming to us for assistance.
Charities large and small across the country say they're feeling the pressure as the rising cost of living means more people looking for help and fewer with the means to offer it.
Canadians are generous, but the reality is we are in difficult times, so it's not surprising.
Food banks are seeing record levels of demand, struggling to keep enough on the shelves for everyone in need, and the donations trickling in are falling short.
We know that everybody's feeling the pinch, and so it can be challenging.
This Montreal nonprofit says the people still able to give are stepping up.
There were a little bit of a drop in individual donors, but an increase in the amount giving, and I think that's really demonstrates what's happening on a broader level in our community and across Canada.
More than a quarter of Canadians say they won't be donating this year to community food drives, according to a new report from the Angus Reid Institute and Nextdoor.
We have seen people who had donated to the Daily Bread Food Bank previously now in line at the food bank. And so we're concerned about that.
Charities say if donations continue to dip or stay flat, they'll need more help from government or programs seeing a surge in demand will keep turning people away. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, Montreal.
Police are warning the public about gift card scams. Offenders are tampering with cards by replacing barcodes. And while these frauds occur year-round, officials say they are more common during the holidays. Nisha Patel has more.
Gift cards are an easy last-minute present, but police warn thieves are finding ways to drain the cards of their value.
I think it's a pretty significant scam. It's going on throughout the country. It does seem very organized, very calculated.
Police in Hamilton, Ontario recently charged a man with theft and fraud. They suspect he tampered with gift cards at a Shoppers Drug Mart. He was caught with gift cards worth more than $100,000.
They're manipulating the cards with a sticker, the UPC code sticker that they put on top. It links to a master gift card that they are in possession of. The $20 actually goes to their master gift card.
There have been incidents across the province, including Oshawa and Kingston. In Kitchener, police seized more than 550 fraudulent gift cards last week.
Thieves wait for consumers when they're spending a lot of money, and that's probably when they strike. So you probably see it over-index a little bit during the holidays, but it's a year-round issue, unfortunately.
According to the Retail Council of Canada, $5.7 million in losses were reported due to a variety of gift card fraud last year.
Retailers will try to use countermeasures by keeping some of the cards behind glass. I've even seen one retailer put the cards in a type of packaging that you can't open.
Shoppers can take some precautions, inspect the packaging for signs of tampering, check that the pin isn't exposed and there's no sticker over the barcode, and keep the receipt as a proof of purchase. Retailers may not refund fraudulent gift cards, so perhaps 'tis the season to gift good old-fashioned cash. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
One country's move to better protect kids by banning social media. But could Canada follow suit? More on that ahead. Eyes around the world are turned to Australia as its world-first ban on social media for users under the age of 16 took effect this week. The tough new law aims to block Australian children and younger teens from addictive social platforms and harmful content online. It's a move supported here by the Canadian Centre for Child Protection. Monique St. Germain is General Counsel at the Centre and joins me now. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So Monique, the organization is calling this a watershed moment for child safety and well-being. Why is that?
Well, you know, Australia is one of the first countries to sort of take this type of an approach, and the world really is watching to see what will happen. And this bold move really was inevitable in terms of how things have been going. They have been, in Australia, they have a whole regulatory system where they have been making it very clear to companies what their expectations are in terms of online safety for young people. You know, it's very clear that more needs to be done. And so this move is an important move for children. And it's important to recognize that this is a delay. So it's not saying that, you know, these young people will never have access to social media. It's just delaying their use of social media from age 13 to 16, which is maybe a more appropriate age for them to start using tools of this nature.
I know that this is a conversation a lot of parents have been having about when is it okay, what age is okay to allow their kids to have social media. So the ban here is for kids under the age of 16. What is the impact really of delaying having kids on these types of platforms until they are a bit older?
Right. Well, I mean, the research is coming out sort of as we've been doing what is essentially this social experimentation on children since social media sort of came out in the early sort of 2000s or late 2000s, where, you know, it was more ubiquitous and everybody was using it. You know, we've had sort of a whole generation of young people come through, and when they are being surveyed and asked about the types of things that have happened to them, and we're seeing some of the harms that are happening, it's very clear that the age of entry being set at 13 was you know, too young.
So how easy is it for kids to get around these rules and still get onto these platforms? Is it as easy as me putting in my birth date and clicking, yes, that is my age?
Yes, well, that is something that has been anticipated in Australia, and no, that is not. It's not going to be that easy. That is essentially what age verification has been on platforms. That's been sort of the accepted standard for quite some time, and it's of course completely inadequate. So no, what they are requiring in Australia is some age assurance measures that are a lot better than that. So we'll see how this is all going to work, because obviously these tools are still in development. There's multiple countries around the world who are looking at age assurance in different ways, and Canada is also studying this issue in the Senate right now. So, you know, we're going to get better at this, and the tools are going to get better at this, but we have to start somewhere. And the reality is that the children who are not going on social media at age 13 now, the generation that we have right now, you know, we're going to see the benefits coming from that, and there'll be a lot to learn from it.
You did mention some checks and balances that are already in place in Australia. Here in Canada, the industry practice is no social media unless a child is at least 13. So where should we be starting? Where, you know, before we jump straight to what Australia is doing, what do we need to do to really get crawling before we walk?
Yeah. So what Canada needs is it needs a regulatory framework of its own. And so, you know, these discussions have been underway in Canada for quite some time. And while we've been talking about it, other countries have been doing things. So, you know, Australia has continued to evolve their framework. In the UK, they have a whole framework that is underway now on online safety legislation. They've got a child privacy code that is, the expectations have been set very clearly in the UK. In Europe, they are also doing the same thing. The different nations around the world are doing different things, but everybody is moving on this issue, and Canada needs to too.
So Monique, we've already seen at least one company, Reddit, file a lawsuit saying that this infringes on political expression. So Is this flawed?
So, I mean, I have not seen the lawsuit. I have heard about it. And certainly, you know, there's going to be challenges to these sorts of things. And we'll have to see how this all plays out. But at the end of the day, the rules that we put in place or the things that we do to protect children, we've been doing this since time began. We've all recognized that children need different requirements and expectations. We don't let them drink alcohol until they're a certain age. We don't let them smoke. We don't let them buy vapes. All of these things are the things that we've all agreed upon. And somehow we forgot all about that when it came to technology, and we just sort of opened the floodgates. And we need to now pull it back, and we need to take stock of where we are and try and protect future generations.
All right, well, lots of people keeping an eye on Australia. Monique, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Riley's back in now. And Riley, the last couple days, the weather has really been perfect if you want to stay indoors, cozy up, cuddle up, a nice warm cup of tea, watch a Christmas movie or a holiday movie.
Really right across the province.
Yes, and guess what? You got 2 days this weekend still to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And we are looking at temperatures, Brittany, below seasonal for this time of the year, really across the province. Good for a cat nap. You know where I'm going with this. Feline Friday. Couldn't leave you for the weekend without this one. And you know what? You got to look closely for this one, because I think I know where Mo's favorite spot in the house is right now. Just having a little bit of a snooze, of course, right inside the Christmas tree. Thank you, Karen, for sending this picture. And please keep sending yours to talkback@cbc.ca. So in the morning tomorrow in Winnipeg, perhaps a few stray flurries, but you'll notice as we get through the day, pretty breezy conditions. So northwest 30, gusting to 50, not great for a dog walk. Dress up, bundle up if you got to take the pup out as we get through the weekend here, because temperatures remain below seasonal, around -17 through the afternoon, although we will get a bit of sunshine back as we get into the afternoon hours tomorrow. But at least for the first part of the day, I think clouds will feature quite prominently really across the province. So I thought I'd give you a look at where we are snow depth-wise, our snowpack, after we've seen these couple of systems roll through. And as always, when I show you this map, this is modeling to give you a sense at where we are seeing some of that heavier snowpack. It's not necessarily real-time data from on the ground. So you can see where we have seen some of those snowfall warnings issued, where the last clipper went through with some of the heavier snow through the parkland and into the Riding Mountain region. This is where we are getting into some of those higher elevations, some of that heavier snowpack, but generally speaking, pretty healthy right across southern Manitoba into northwestern Ontario, right around where we should be for this time of the year as we head toward the Christmas season here. So looking at temperatures right now in Winnipeg sitting at -12, south wind sustained at 43, and you can see Portage Avenue right now fairly snow covered at the moment, some ruts, and that's probably like that pretty much across the city. So keep that in mind if you have to be out overnight tonight into the morning hours. Visibility, traction could be an issue as well in some cases. Across the rest of the province, temperatures around -20 at the moment, although -7 in Melita, but -34 in Dooley Lake. So quite the temperature spread across the province at the moment. And as we get through the night, temperatures don't really go anywhere. We're hanging around -20 overnight tonight, and we are looking at winds staying fairly strong as we get through the overnight hours. 40 gusting 60 in some cases as we get through the night. And again, -36 into Dooley Lake, Churchill at -33. Lots of sunshine in much of northern Manitoba by the time we get to the afternoon, although there is a slim chance of flurries as we get through Flin Flon and the Pas into the afternoon, and into the south where your Saturday, we start pretty cloudy. Good chance we'll see a few flurries first thing, Brittany, and then we're getting back into some sunshine, but things remain breezy as we get through the afternoon. Your 7-day forecast is just ahead.
All right, thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Doctors Manitoba is helping people living in rural areas prepare for upcoming emergency department closures. The group says there's 71 facilities that can operate as hospitals outside of Winnipeg, but only 18 are expected to have ERs open 24/7 over the holidays. Doctors Manitoba says people can look at ruralcare.ca to see all the ER schedules across the province.
If you are worried or making a plan over the holidays, or if you're traveling to somewhere that's not familiar to you, that resource is there. You can't plan an emergency, but you can plan where to go if you do experience one.
Doctors Manitoba says 25 rural ERs are expected to operate with limited hours or periodic closures, and 28 are fully closed and have been for some time. Well, get ready to lace up your skates, Winnipeg. The upper skating trail and rink at the CN stage will open at the Forks tonight. It might be a little snow-covered after the blizzard, but the ice is ready. The rink under the canopy was already open for skating, and it will be a little longer before the river trails are ready for the season. Exactly when that will happen, well, that depends on Mother Nature. The Fork says it's likely to open earlier than most years.
See the city from a completely different aspect in the winter. Of course, we can get out on the river in the summertime, but seeing the city from that aspect, I think is just going to be a whole beautiful way to experience Winnipeg and the Forks.
Once the river trail is open, warming huts will be added sometime in January. Well, most people avoided the roads at all costs this afternoon, but one brave group of Santa's helpers delivered holiday cheer on two wheels. That and a last look at the forecast are coming up next. A group of giving Santas is braving the cold to give back to those in need. It was the 14th annual Cycle with Santa event. Santa Claus, his reindeer, and elves rode their bikes through downtown Winnipeg today, delivering holiday cheer to those in need. The group is handing out mitts, toques, socks, and candy canes, spreading joy to those less fortunate. They made stops at Main Street Project, Salvation Army, and Siloam Mission, bringing love and joy to the streets.
It's just about bringing notoriety to winter cycling, but it's also about having fun. And if we're having fun, we hope to bring love and joy to the streets when people are in such dire and desperate times, especially in a day like today when it's a little bit cool, a little bit wintry. You know, that just brings joy to the rider.
The group also raised $150,000 in donations. They're distributing those funds to several charities in the city.
If it looks a bit brisk out there. All right, we're officially getting into winter as we get into the day on Sunday. Officially, the solstice at 9:03 in the morning. So we're getting set for what will be our shortest day of the year, and the point at which the sun's rays are more centered on the southern hemisphere. So looking at about 8 hours of daylight on Sunday, and then the days start to get warmer from there. Here's your 7-day forecast now. Looking at -18 to start winter on Sunday, mainly sunny sky. Maybe a bit more snow coming our way late Monday into early Tuesday. For Christmas Eve, -10, a mix of sun and clouds, and looking at maybe a few flurries for Christmas Day at -9 degrees. The holidays are known for being a bit of a season of excess when it comes to treats.
And if you feel overwhelmed by sugar this holiday season, this might just push you over the edge. It's an entire gingerbread community with 755 structures. A New York baker made and decorated all of them. And you Martha Stewarts out there might have noticed a less than perfect approach to the creations, but he feels that's part of the charm.
Let's hope any structural issues get fixed in time for next year. A skyscraper is part of the plan for Gingerbread Lane 2026.
I love it.
Wow.
Well done. This is my last show before the holidays. I'm leaving you in Riley's very, very capable hands. We hope that everybody has a very, very happy holidays.
It's going to be a busy season.
It is going to be very busy. Stay safe out there on the roads. Have a wonderful 2025. See you in 2026.